Hi, I'm Rajat,
And this is Mark.
and we are here to show you what we've built for Q Actions for Auto Mode. What we have here in front of you is the Auto console, which is represented by the tablet in the center, and we have two phones connected to the console. My phone is on the left-hand side, and Mark's phone is on the right-hand side. At this point, Mark's phone is connected to the console. Now, what you'll see is first Mark run through a series of actions, and he'll talk to you about the actions he's going to run, and then we'll switch over to my phone and I'll show you some of my personal actions. Now, a few points to note. None of our commands will actually mention an app by name, and that's because our machine learning algorithms allow us to actually just issue a command and the system figures out the correct action in the correct app to actually execute. And the second thing you'll notice is that our personal lives are basically brought into this infrastructure kind of seamlessly without us having to register anything or having to set up anything. All right, so Mark, why don't you go ahead?
Great. Thanks, Rajat. All right. So what I want to point out first of all is that on the tablet, you'll notice that I'm connected to the tablet under my profile called Mark. So if I look on my phone, I'll also see the same apps in the same locations, recent actions and favorite actions, as well as all of my actions that are on my phone will get reflected into the tablet here, or the head unit. So that's just showing that the two devices are connected at this point. So the first couple of actions I'll demonstrate are ones which we call shared actions, right? Shared actions are those that can be experienced by anyone in the car without having necessarily a profile. So the first thing I'm going to do typically when you're driving here in the Bay Area is that we run into microclimates. So I often want to find the weather, what's the weather like in certain areas. What's the weather in San Francisco?
In SF, California, it's 62 degrees and clear with a high of 62 and a low of 52.
Okay, this is an example of what we built as a rich media card that shows data from a third-party API that we've called through cloud services. So I'll do another one. Oftentimes I'm flying, I'm driving up to a certain airport and I want to check on my flight status. What's the status of flight American Airlines 1?
American Airlines Flight 1 is currently on time. It departs from John F. Kennedy International Airport Terminal 8 at 8 a.m. and arrives at Los Angeles International Airport Terminal 4 at 11:27 a.m.
Great, so these are two examples of common activities we do while we're driving, or kind of table stakes for what people are using for shared activities. Now I'll get a little personal. So the next action, or a couple of actions I'll do, will be performed on my phone, and then the information will be delivered to the head unit. Find gas stations nearby.
Select your action.
Gas Buddy.
Opening Gas Buddy and performing action on your phone. Nearby gas at Shell 2029 South Bascom Avenue and East Campbell Avenue, 0.2 miles away for $4.25.
Great, so I'd like to point out a couple things here. First of all, the action that executed was actually performed on my phone, and then we reached into the app, pulled out information that was relevant, and presented it back to the head unit. The second thing that happened was it gave me a choice of which action from which app to execute. So in this case, I chose Gas Buddy because that was my favorite. So one last one I'll show you is another example of an action being performed on my phone. This time it's going to be viewing my tasks through Google Tasks. Show my tasks.
Opening tasks and performing action on your phone. Your tasks are pick up, dry cleaning, mail letters, buy milk.
Again, we're performing the action on the phone and we're bringing back relevant information to show on the head unit. Now I'm going to switch over to Rajat.
Thanks, Mark. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually connect to the Auto console. So the way I do that is by saying connect to Raj.
Bye Mark. Welcome Raj.
So as you can see, I'm now connected, and what is happening is that the recent actions and the favorite actions have now been switched to what's available on my phone, and this happened transparently without me doing any setup, right? So let's go ahead and execute a few actions. So the first thing I want to do is to say show my tasks.
Opening tasks and performing action on your phone. Your tasks are pay maintenance bills, call to university, order flowers.
So what you can see is that the same command now executes the same similar logical action, but now on my phone, because that's the phone that's connected to the console, and it pulls out information that's relevant to my tasks. And so you can see that that's quite different from what Mark saw just a couple of minutes back. Now, let's say I'm driving and I want to set up a meeting for my team. So I can do that very easily with voice. Create new event.
Please provide an event name.
Team meeting.
Please provide a meeting venue.
The prune yard.
When.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Ending time.
10 a.m.
Opening calendar and performing action on your phone.
Right? And you can see that it creates a meeting for me in the calendar. Now, let's say I'm driving and I'm often in the Bay Area, we're running late because of the traffic, but I want to join my meeting that I've already scheduled. So why don't I go ahead and do that? Join my meeting with my camera off.
Opening meet and performing action on your phone.
So this is launching Hangouts. Hey Rob, how are you doing? Good, good, good. All right, I'm going to disconnect right now. All right, so that was, it's very easy for me to actually do this, in the car. And when I'm in the car, the audio actually comes through my Bluetooth system in the car. So it's actually perfect because I can quickly join the meeting and I can do this safely in the car. So now let's look at some other personal actions as well. Whose birthday is it today?
Opening Facebook and performing action on your phone. Rahul Mukund and Ron Ackner are celebrating their birthdays today.
So you can see that this is a very personal state within the Facebook app. And all I said was, whose birthday is it today? And it gets me the right information. You'll also notice that the speech recognition or the voice to text actually got it a bit wrong. So you can see that instead of getting the word whose, it actually got who''s. However, because of the statistical approach we take to command matching, we are still able to identify the intent of the user and still get the user to the right action. So now let's look at another action. I'm driving and I want to find out if any of my friends are nearby. Are any of my friends nearby?
Opening Facebook and performing action on your phone. Manoj Joshi and Mark Mogdenberg and Siddhartha Chattopadhyay are nearby.
So again, you can see it's a very handy function. And now let's say that I'm close by to Mark and let's catch up with him quickly. So I can send him a message. Message Mark, I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Select your action.
WhatsApp.
Which contact?
Mark Magdenberg.
Send, I'll see you in 10 minutes to Mark Mogdenberg.
Yes.
Opening WhatsApp and performing action on your phone.
So that was a message sent off and I could go quickly catch up with him. Now let's see what happens when he responds to me. Alright, so what you see is as I'm driving on my console, I get a little pop-up which I can dismiss if I don't want to be distracted, or I can listen.
Great.
Right? Or I can respond. Call him.
Opening WhatsApp and performing action on your phone.
Now this is great because as I'm driving, the context is already set up and I'm now placing the call through WhatsApp. Now this is very, very handy because when I'm driving, I want to sometimes be able to place a phone call through my regular phone, but sometimes, as in this case, use WhatsApp to place a phone call, or when I'm calling my mom, and you can see that's one of my favorite actions, I use Facebook Messenger. So it's very, very important for us to be able to access these personal actions and these choices that we've already made in our apps very, very seamlessly through voice. So now let's talk about a few other interesting use cases that typically people don't do because they don't work very well, and we've enabled these through simple voice commands. So let's say I'm driving and I suddenly remember I need to buy some batteries. Add batteries to my shopping cart.
What brand or type?
Duracell.
What size or quantity?
9-volt, 4-pack.
Opening Walmart and performing action on your phone.
Now in this case, I'm using the Walmart app. I could very well have been using the Amazon app or some other shopping app. Alright, so here's another thing that I could be doing in a handy fashion when I'm driving, right? I'm driving and I need to figure out when I can pick up my groceries. When can I pick up my groceries?
Opening grocery and performing action on your phone.
Now this happens to be the Walmart grocery app.
The earliest time for grocery pickup is on Saturday, 13th between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. at 777 Story Road.
Now this is an extremely personalized action because I've already set up my store of choice, and this is where I can go and very quickly pick up my groceries. And obviously this gives me information about when I can pick it up and also the address. One of the things we are working towards is being able to now take this information, which is semantically rich, and be able to, for example, create a calendar event, or I can actually navigate to that location. So this gives you an idea of some of the things that are possible today through simple voice commands. And we hope that you're seeing the richness of the ability of the system to actually go after different kinds of actions in different domains and be able to perform them with very, very simple voice commands. Thank you.
Thank you.